What's going on, guys? Today we'll be checking out maybe my favorite movie in the series, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade on 4K Blu-ray. This isn't a review on the movie itself, I'm just sharing some of my thoughts on the audio and the video quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot on film. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 127 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239:1, which means you'll have black letterbox bars. So the first two movies in the set are standout upgrades over their 1080p counterparts. And this movie, well, is equally as impressive visually. I'd even venture to say it might even be slightly better than the first two. Now, I was a little worried when I first started the movie because everything seemed overly soft and smooth. Kind of like there might have been some noise reduction implied because there was zero grain from the start. Once the scene moves into the cave, then everything snaps into focus. The detail is just as clean and sharp as the previous two movies, if not a little more. You can clearly make out the rocky stone texture of the cave's interior walls, and once things move back outside, you can probably count all the blades of grass on the ground. The close-up shots are so good here at times, if you didn't know better, you'd think the movie was shot yesterday, until you find out Harrison Ford is pushing 80. As for HDR, it follows the same path as the first two movies, so they've all got a consistent look. This movie is bright as for overall picture brightness, but it won't have any real eye-popping colors, except for that mural in the church. That's got some Aquaman colors going on. The audio here is in Dolby Atmos, and just like I've said in the previous two indie videos, this one has the same static audio mix. What that means is that the sound effects are static to a particular channel and doesn't move around dynamically to its destination. Still though, it's a fun sounding mix. Since we were talking about the Venice church, the boat chase is one of the main action scenes. It's of course got boats moving throughout the lower channels, and there are bullets that whiz by. I thought the bass response here was also deeper than the previous two movies, so when something blows up, your subwoofers will have something to do. The other standout scene is the tank chase. There's more bullets that fly through the lower channels and big cannon shots that hit pretty hard. High channels get some usage in the form of ambiance with really good extension up top. It's natural sounding without being distracting. Now when you watch the scene at the castle, you can hear the storm outside and the thunder crack above your head. The color palette gets a nice boost in saturation and appears natural overall. There's smoother gradational tones that you'll see in the far-field skyline shots, so there's a better variation on blues with clouds that are more pronounced. And the same for the darker parts. The movie is not as dark as Temple of Doom, but shadow detail remain visible with blacks that are very deep and contrasty while giving good separation amongst the foreground and background layers. Specular highlights were again same as the other movies, so they weren't overly bright and eye-scorching or like some older transfers where they crank up the HDR too hot. Flames and explosions look nice but not overly done. For the audio fans out there, I found the musical score to be more dynamic with more richness in the soundstage. The music will extend through all the channels and give that big Indiana Jones theatrical feel. Normally I'd say that dialogue is always fine and easy to hear, but there were a few times I felt that the dialogue would dip down in volume, then go back to normal when the scene changed. Let me know if you guys have noticed this as well. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and you're into home theater and new movies, be sure to hit the subscribe button for new weekly videos. But anyways, for audio, I'd have to give it an 8.5. Except for the dialogue thing, I thought this mix was more dynamic overall than the first two movies. There's a bit more bass and the score sounded more layered. Atmos added natural extension and does give the movie a larger feel. All in all, it's a nice upgrade. For video, this is another fantastic transfer. There's some questionably smooth shots here and there, but overall, there's some impeccably fine detail, and there are times, like I said before, might make you think it was shot recently. Now, I feel if I give the movie a 9, that's like moving up to reference/demo material, and it does look good. But I'm gonna have to stay with an 8.9 like the others, and those are fantastic. I'm sure Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, since it was shot more recently, is probably gonna hit the 9 mark, but who knows? We'll have to see. So those are my thoughts on The Last Crusade. Would you guys rate it higher than an 8.9 or would it be lower? Leave a comment and let us know. Now if you want to grab this collection, I'll leave some links for it down below in the video's description. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content and great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again in the next video.